What's up, climbing people? Welcome back to YouTube's favorite underground climbing channel. I'm your host, Joshua Perry. So due to popular demand, I'm gonna do tree climbing fails or tree fails, something like that. I'm gonna find out what's popular here on the internet and see if we can learn something from it. One could even say branching off. Okay, so without further ado, let's just cut straight to the intro. I know I should warm this thing up. Oh well, that's what graphics are. That's what editing's for.
If you forgot your gree at home, if your belayer's not paying attention, if you don't wear a helmet to protect your dome and your rope has failed inspection, if you think that chalk is aid and you take big whippers all day, it's time to watch these scary tales and learn something from climbing fails with Joshua Perry.
I don't think I really want to fill this studio up with carbon monoxide anyway. Okay, so let's get started. Before we do, I encourage you to take that like button, tie it in, do a proper buddy check, and then send it. All right, let's go. That's gonna cost him. Holy moly. Not only does he doesn't have a notch in it, which you want to put a notch in your limb or whatever you're cutting over. Now, before I get started, I guess I have to mention I haven't been doing tree work in a long time. So take what I have to say with a grain of salt, because if you're not into something every single day, you become pretty damn rusty. I did cut my neighbor's tree though, like a month ago, so a couple months ago. But unless you're doing it every day, you'll make mistakes like this guy, okay? It looks like he had no notch, and he doesn't really have a flat cut. It's almost angled. Completely took out the side of his house. I don't know if it's the side of his house or someone's house. See, the thing with tree work, and the biggest reasons you have accidents, in my experience, is in tree work, you're rushed for time. Okay, every minute's costing you. Time is money. All right, so if you could cut things smaller and take your time, you're gonna have less accidents. Now, what this guy is doing is this is pretty smart. Okay, if you want to add a lot of force to something, if he was just pulling this straight to just put a line on the tree and just giving it a pull, it's not going to be as forceful as if he ties it down here. Now he's increasing his workload. He's able to put a lot more force on that line. And we know that's one of the reasons why you don't make your anchors like greater than 120. This is kind of like you created a slack line or something. You're pulling on it. You're adding a lot more force on the anchors. And one of those anchors is the tree. And he's yanking on it. No accidents, it looks like, but oh boy. All right, this right here. Oh man, I thought it went through the front windshield. It hit it and it bounced over the entire truck. This is right here. That right here there is why slackliners use soft shackles, because if something breaks, just look at the force of that thing flying. Thing turned into a bullet. That would have took your head out if you were standing behind that truck. It looks like this guy isn't tied into the tree. Okay. Yeah. Common accident. So if you're cutting a larger section of tree, you have to think about what happens when that top hits. And then so the top hit first, and then the bottom came in and just knocked that guy right off. This guy looks like he's very happy to catch what he's about to do on camera. Let's see if he's got the gusto. Right on the building. You see, another thing with cutting trees down is a dead tree and a live tree are gonna act completely different. Like for instance, this thing here. This guy is standing under a widowmaker. This is called a widowmaker. You have all these dead limbs that are just waiting to fall down right on your head. Even if this guy does a proper hinge on a dead tree like this, the tree is not alive and the wood fibers and everything could just be completely rotten. The bottom could be completely rotted out and it's just not going to go the way you want it to go. If I was going to cut that tree down, there ain't no way I'm climbing into that thing. You need a crane and a guy on a lift and take it down piece by piece, slowly. You know, I wouldn't want to get under that thing, okay? You couldn't pay me enough to get under that thing. There's guys that'll do it, not me. Here we go on a ladder again. That could have been a lot worse. Okay, we got this guy up in the tree. I think I got a good guess what's going to happen here. Oh, boy. Give this guy a real good swing. Now, the reason this happened is there's two reasons. One, it's a really tall piece that's coming off the top of this tree, so it's got some weight into it. It's not unregular to drop something that big. It's not like ridiculously big, but the reason it happened is because the guy at the bottom didn't let it run. And let it run is the same thing as when you're climbing at the cliff. Your belayer will let you run, which will give you a lot longer fall, but slow it down gradually. This is the same thing as a hard catch. That's what this is. This is considered a hard catch in the tree world. So he gave him a hard catch and it just rocked him around like he was at the top of a car antenna. It looks like there's lines going left and right. I don't know what this guy is even thinking. This looks like a crane job to me. I think if this was going to be done properly, it'd be done with a crane. But you know, that's money. You're talking like $3,000 a day. Well, that's back in the day. So I don't know what the prices are now and stuff like that. So, like I said, time is money and these guys need to get it done. I mean, when I was working, it was like I was only getting paid to work. So it's a competitive field. Man, it went down and left. I think the only reason it would go down and left like that is that tree must have gotten blown over in the wind and the root system was still in the ground. So it went left because the roots probably dragged it over. Maybe it could have rolled because of the roots and stuff. You don't get to see that in the clip, but my guess is that's what would happen. Okay, this looks like this guy is cutting a really big piece off. I would have cut way higher. I would have been way higher in that tree. Woof! It almost ripped him right off. That's a lot of tree. Looks like he survived it. Boy, oh boy. Yeah, I would, if you, like I said, it's safer to cut slower, but then, you know, you might be out of business. Let's see what these guys are about to get into. It looks like a dad and son job here. This is why this is why women live longer than men. Right here is why. Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy. Oh, this one looks like a big boy here. It's cutting the notch in. So far, so good. Now the thing is, are we dealing with a dead tree or a live tree? Are we dealing with a live tree? Oh. See, now you could cut the whole tree down in one swoop, just right from the bottom, right? And that saves a lot of time. But not when you drop the whole damn thing on the house. Now you didn't save any time. Better just cut it little by little, right? Oh my gosh, that guy almost got his head crushed. Okay, so if we kind of enhance this video a little bit and slow it down and take a look at it, he's using this other tree branch as like an anchor for what he's cutting there, and he's cutting a whole big giant piece. Like that's really tall. I would have probably cut it up way higher than that, and instead of doing one giant piece, I would have cut that in a couple pieces at least. And then when it slaps this other one, we could see right here in this still frame that this looks like all new wood that probably started cracking, that broke. But look at the rest of the limb. It's completely rotten. So this limb was rotted here. So less than half of this limb was really doing anything structurally. And then the whole thing came tumbling down. Gets to walk away from it though. What we got here? Oh my gosh, that wasn't even a big one. That was just a whipping. Just stay down. If that happened to me, I would just lie there like I was dead. Oh boy, got a very dead tree. Very dead tree. It's not gonna go any which way you think it's gonna go. Thing just kind of rotted right off the stump there. I don't know, I can't tell if there's like a certain lean to this tree. You know, it also depends on how the wind's blowing that day, if there's wind pushing on it. It's a lot of factors. You can't just grab a chainsaw and think you're going to be able to drop your first tree without a problem. If you're going to be cutting a tree, you better have a professional with you or hire a professional, because it's a lot more. It was the Dunder effect or something? What is it called? Duger effect? Oh, there's our phone. Well, anyway, you think you know a lot more than you know. There's an iceberg of knowledge that you don't know about. It's not as simple as grabbing a chainsaw and starting cutting wood. Okay, a guy on the ladder again. I wonder what's going to happen. Takes the chainsaw. Oof! Narrowly misses his ladder. Would have knocked him off. What is he, like 15 feet? He'd been donezo. At least his ladder was tied in at the top, though, it looks like. He's smart enough to tie his ladder at the top, but I'm pretty sure... Yeah, I'm pretty sure it still would have knocked him right off. Maybe not. Right, so if you found these interesting, let me know in the comments below. And if I missed anything, leave it down in the comments below. I'd like to do a couple more of these, but I'd like to find some stuff on here that has to get into the rigging of tree climbing. I like getting into a tree and the knowledge of rigging and stuff. It's a little bit more technical than climbing. You have to make sure you use knots like bowlines and things that don't tighten up and just get dummy tight. So it's an interesting field of stuff and knowledge. I mean, there's nothing like getting up into a tree on a nice day and the smell of the chainsaw, the noise of the chainsaw rolling, the noise of the chainsaw roaring, and the smell of the wood burning. Yeah, there's nothing like it. Nothing puts some more hair on your chest than being out there in the bitter cold. Oh, you could tell I just missed it, don't you? Okay, Joshua Perry. Climbing out of here. Well, where is my battery charger gone? Where can it be? I know I'm going.